Hello, it's Sherry again. We are working on our mouse and cheese maze game. And in this episode, we're going to talk about gameplay. What I want to show you in this episode is how to do it with points. So we're going to collect 10 points in our maze before we go to the next level. So to do that, I'm going to change my loop to a repeat until, because I want to repeat until I have 10 points. So we're going to go all the way in here, but some things are going to have to change. So let's stay tuned. We need a variable for our points. So I deleted my variables. So I have to make one. If you have one, you can right click on it to change the name. I had to make one, so I'm going to call it points. And there it is. And I like where it is on my screen, so I'm going to leave it there, but you can click and drag it around if you want it somewhere else. All right, there's my points. So we're going to start there. And I want, when I start my game, for my points to be 0. And then every time the cheese, so I'm on the cheese, every time the cheese touches the mouse, I want to change points by 1. But I don't want to go to the next backdrop until my points, and then I go to operators. Points are equal. I decided on 10. Okay. So points are equal to 10. Then I'm going to go to the next backdrop. This isn't going to fully work yet. I need to show you broadcasting, but let's just test this to show you the 10 points. So here we go. I should Oop, I hit the wall. No consequences for the wall yet. Haven't programmed that. We will. Next episode. All right, let's get to 10. We're at 4. Okay. So we're at the next level, but the cheese hasn't shown up, right? Because in our code, we repeated until the points were 10, and now the points are 10, but we haven't gone back to the top of the loop. We have no reason to. So here's where we need to do something called broadcasting. In the events menu, we're going to go to broadcast. I actually already named this, but you would go to new message and you would type next level. So I'm going to broadcast next level instead of my next, actually, I don't mind next backdrop there. I'm thinking through, I'm going to change that later, but my brain thinks 10 steps ahead. Whew. Okay, we're going to stay right there and we're going to broadcast next level. But here's the thing, I am going to also disconnect that, broadcast the next level here. And then when I receive next level, notice this makes its own kind of loop. When I broadcast next level, it'll come up here to receiving next level and it will go through this code again. So let's take a look. We're going to have to get to 10 before it will broadcast. And I could put a sound in there to show you that it did that. In fact, I probably should have, and I didn't. We're going to have a problem. I see an infinite loop coming. Oh, there it is. Why do I have an infinite loop? It is going infinitely from level 1 to level 2 to level 1 to level 2, and it is not stopping. Here's why. The condition for this loop is repeat until points equals 10. What does points equal? 10. So what I need to do is duplicate this points equals 0. And every time I go to the next level, I need to reset my points to 0. That way, the mouse can find the cheese. So let's try it again. 1. Whoop. Goodness gracious. When you're going up and you hit the wall, then it's flip out time. Good thing I don't have lives. I'd have died and the game would be over. Then I would go more carefully, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And now I should be able to get to 10 on this maze. Oh, that was kind of nice. Okay, and it's gone back to level 1 because it's just rotating next level, next level. So that's beautiful. So that is one way to use points to make your gameplay. Of course, you can make as many stages as you want. The more stages, backdrops you have, the more it's just going to go forward through them before it loops back to the top. We will eventually get to how you do an introduction and how you end it with a game win or game lose. Right now we don't have that, but we will work on that next. Actually, we might work on lives next. So a few things coming up. At this point, we've got points and our gameplay is getting a little better. I will see you next video. Talk to you soon. Happy coding.